Welcome back to another Void City podcast discussion of all things here, left and right, everywhere. What are we discussing today?
Didn't we used to do Is It Good? The answer is yes, it's good.
Yes, it's good. Welcome back to another episode of Is It Good? Whatever. We saw a movie recently.
Yes.
At the same time nearly, which doesn't happen very often.
You're talking like 3 to 4 weeks is nearly the same time?
For us lately,
Okay.
Yes.
Sure, I'll agree.
I'm to the point where if we see a movie within 6 months of each other now, it's like, oh man, we might be able to review that one.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I saw Deadpool and Wolverine. As did you? You saw it like opening week, right?
Weekend,
like,
yeah.
Weekend, Sunday? Yeah, that's Sunday. And you came out of it and told me something you haven't told me for any Marvel movie ever.
What did I say?
You said, go see it. It was excellent.
Ah.
You used the word excellent to describe a Marvel movie.
Well.
And it about blew my mind. I'm like,
it's
what?
Technically a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's a Ryan Reynolds movie.
It had the Marvel movie flavor to it now a little bit. We'll get to that, maybe. If it starts to bother me, which it might throughout the course of this conversation.
Flavor. All right.
But, yeah, no, I also thoroughly enjoyed it. Whole thing, start to finish, end credits, middle credits, after credits, everything. Make sure you stay if you haven't seen it yet. Good stuff. I don't know. Where do you want to start?
Are we starting vague and then we'll get into spoilers at some point, or we're just like?
Yeah. Should we give like a general, without any spoilers first? That way we can give people a chance to turn this off. Let's try to do that then.
So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do feel like Jackman carried most of it because Ryan Reynolds is in a mask, and like Jackman was acting his ass off in that movie. He was. It
kind of makes the movie Logan look just like silly now. Like as like by comparison, there are some very like emotional scenes for him in this one, like surprisingly so for a Deadpool movie, and he does at a lot of times like overshadow Deadpool. Like it almost seemed like, just thinking back now, like Wolverine almost has more time.
Possibly.
Like, Deadpool was almost always playing like catch up in his own movie, but maybe that was by design. I think he even sort of mentions it.
But I mean, it's a really well constructed movie. Just baseline, it's really well put together. It's great action comedy. Like it's just really well done.
I do wish the villain had been a little more more fleshed out.
I can't remember Cassandra Nova well enough. But
are you talking just character in general, or in the movie?
So the when she showed up, like, it's been a while since I've read those Grant Morrison issues. I don't feel like she had finger brain power.
That was creepy.
It was definitely creepy in the movie. I like the actress.
Yeah, she did good.
I like the whole whatever space that they were in.
The void.
The location.
Oops. Yes. Was that a spoiler?
I don't know.
I feel like it shouldn't be, because it's in all the trailers and we've seen it through 2 seasons of Loki. We know what it is and where it is. And we have known for a while. I mean, we've known ever since there were the filming shots, I mean, that were all over the internet with the big 20th Century Fox logo in the background.
Which is funny. It's funny.
It is.
There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy in comics. I'll just like slip little subtle things into the background.
Right.
I'll see it. I'll appreciate it.
Yep. Like on posters and stuff.
Yeah.
The Easter eggs. Yeah.
So yeah, Cassandra could have been, but I feel like what's his face, Matthew McFadden, who I still refer to. My wife and I refer to him as
fake Clive Owen.
Tom from Spooks, because we watched this UK show like 20 years ago where he worked for MI5, and ever since he's just been Tom from Spooks. But he. Possibly the real villain.
What was his name? It wasn't Polaris. It was something with P, wasn't it? Preposterous?
Paradox?
Paradox. Yeah, Paradox. Yeah, it was Paradox.
Okay.
Because I remember thinking of that book, the Klein's book.
Yes.
Paradox Mountain. Yeah, it was Paradox. when I first saw him, I thought it was Clive Owen for a second. I was like, oh man, what happened? But then I realized it wasn't him. But like, what was his like? Let's not get into spoilers yet. But yeah, he needed more.
He transforms throughout.
Yes.
And at every time, at every scene that he's needed, he
different.
brings it.
Yeah, he does, but he's like different every
Yes.
scene. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, what are his motivations? I think we're already getting.
We're edging up against it.
We are. So maybe we should just say we liked it a lot. Like most superhero movies, the villains are often a little bit overlooked. Maybe could have had a little more time, but you know the movie's already like 2 hours and some odd minutes, so
I needed to pee pretty bad. So I stayed for the initial credits because I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. And that even the credits were an emotional scene. I'm like, I didn't like many of these movies, and yet there's a nostalgic
this is a different viewpoint of those movies. Yeah, like it changed.
Touching me in ways I didn't expect.
Yes.
So I bolted to the bathroom after that ended and came back just in time for the post credits. It's perfect timing.
Which was great, by the way.
Real surprise.
Not gonna spoiler that one, but it was. I didn't expect it, and I think that was the whole point, and it was great.
It was great.
Just great.
Yes. All around.
So, overall, recommend, not recommend.
Oh yeah, recommend.
Recommend, yes. And like a better recommend, like not just like oh yeah, it was all right, like Ghostbusters Afterlife, like, you know, like.
I mean,
like far more entertaining.
By this point, it would be difficult to see at a theater screen, but I will recommend seeing it in the theater.
I don't know. It's like the top-grossing R-rated movie now, isn't it?
Yes,
like,
it is.
They're keeping it,
is.
as long as they can. I think theaters are desperate right now.
Well,
If people are going to come see it,
Also true.
they'll have it there for you. You could find it somewhere. You might even be able to find it in the theater that's cheap enough to be worth seeing it in the theater.
Oh yeah, yeah. The secondary,
still exist.
secondary cheap theaters.
Are those still a thing even? I don't even know.
I think the one by your old house is possibly gone. The sign is no longer updated, which
Really?
makes me sad.
Even that theater now.
'Cause
wow. So Stratford Mall gone, being knocked to the ground.
That's crazy.
Theater that I've been going to since 3rd grade.
That was a nice theater.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 was the first movie I saw there. I saw, I think, Homeward Bound there. Like, oh my gosh.
Somehow I saw Starship Troopers there, even though
Oh, you lucky.
I tried to see it at one point and I got
Carded?
restricted.
Yeah.
I wasn't old enough. And then somehow I still managed it. Like, I don't know if it was the next visit. I don't remember the details, but somehow I saw Starship Troopers at Stratford. It's good times. Good times.
Yes. Should we get into talking about the movie a little bit more in detail?
Sure, yes.
So if you don't want spoilers for this yet, turn this off now. We're going to get into spoilers, talk about the movie in some detail a little bit. Not totally, we're going to still leave some surprises, things like that for you.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some spoilers ahead. So as far as like, you know, characters that show up, maybe a few actors, a couple of plot elements, things of that nature. I don't know. Let's.
Since we've already started discussing Matthew McFadden paradox.
Yes.
He initially is very middle manager.
Yeah.
And he nails it. And by the end of it, he's completely insane.
Oh yeah,
and
no, he's lost his mind.
Also, just nailing that scene.
Yeah, and like, are we going to talk about that last scene at all, or
Sure.
the finger brains? Like that was a very unsettling effect of the whole hand through the face.
Oh, yeah.
Sticking out of his like eye socket and nostrils and
right.
stuff, and he's just
Yes.
standing there the whole time, like totally conscious and aware of it. And it's just
Yeah.
like happening.
Yes. It's very creepy, very disturbing.
But it was so well done.
I think my wife pointed out something like fingernail related, so maybe there was, I don't know, not quite Superman mustache, but I think there was something going on there.
There was something really weird I noticed with her arm, and that was
okay.
like her face around this side of his head, like his head's here, and she was like looking around him, and her arm would be over on this side. This whole shoulder and arm was like totally fake, and like the hand was sticking far too far out of his face for it to be real. The fingernails were all like super oval and perfect and like smooth. It looked weird, but then her arm was just like Slender Man arms sometimes, and like her shoulder would be like not where her shoulder should be from behind his body, just so that she could have the right angle to be making like, because otherwise her hand would be all like discontorted and weird. But
I think for me, my focus in those scenes was always on her fingers underneath their skin, and I'm just like, oh god,
yeah,
oh,
like what is
dear.
happening for them? Like,
why can I not look away even though I absolutely should?
yeah, that was well done. That's why I wish they had spent more time with her. She had like, it was like, it almost felt like they wanted Scarlet Witch to be the bad guy, but she's dead now, I'd say, with these things, because there's no way in hell she's dead.
Nobody's ever really dead.
And so they got like a different one of her from somewhere else. Like they even had a shot of a statue of Wanda in one of the scenes. They were going through some weird place, and there was a shot of like a Wanda in the full Scarlet Witch outfit, like in one of the shots. I'm like, oh damn.
Maybe that's a reference to her no longer being a mutant. Mutants are.
Wait, mutants are gone again?
I know Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are no longer mutants or children of Magneto.
In the comics?
For stupid reasons.
Really?
Yeah.
In the comics?
Yes.
Really?
It's been true for a while, and I still don't fully accept
But
it.
in the movies, they just went out of their way to kind of very strongly imply that Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were mutants, and that the stone and the staff unlocked their hidden ability. And that's why they survived and no one else did.
This is where we're at now.
And now we have maybe Wolverine. Or maybe not.
Till he's 90. Which seems plausible.
I can't believe they got the divorce joke in there. He's really let himself go since the divorce, so he doesn't have any shirtless scenes yet. Like, I couldn't believe that he said that. Like, oh, it's too soon, Ryan. Too soon. Too soon. They were married for like 100 years.
His shirt's off by the end of it. And
yes. And I couldn't tell, like, was that real? Was that actually him? Because there's this weird internet conspiracy that his arms were fake.
What?
And it's like, well, don't you realize through half the movie he had sleeves, and then they got ripped off? They're like, no, if you look real closely, you can see like where the rip, and like it doesn't line up, and it's weird. And like, and then they use another example is when they go through the bus, and they both break through the bus window at the end, and they're standing there, and then Deadpool looks very much green screened onto that screen. That's like the one scene where I'm like, what happened to the effects here? He looks like he's green screened in next to like slightly less green screened Logan, and he does the thing where he flips up his sword to put it away, and it like, because he's a separate shot from him, the sword sort of clips through Wolverine's arm a little bit, and it looks kind of funky, and it's like, okay, that could just be because you're filming a movie theater with your camera phone, but it also could be just because it's a bad effect and it's weird. But like, that's their evidence that Wolverine's arms are fake. I'm like, no, that's your evidence that Deadpool's sword was fake, because they're almost always fake. Like, come on. But whatever.
Why would you admit that you watched a cam?
What? I didn't. I said all the stuff online that show the clip of him doing the thing.
Okay, all right.
I never said anything about watching a cam. I said all the clips online
All right.
have people where they like have a clip from the theater, and it's very obvious because it's the vertical, like, and they're in the theater, and it's like the sideways view of it because their seats are all on the side, and they're always filming from the shitty angle.
I've seen the Instagram post of Jackman and his trainer draining.
Oh yeah, no, I know it was him.
Within the last week that showed up in my feed, and I'm like,
yeah, no, it was him.
This is weirdly late.
Yeah,
but also like, dude, put in the work.
Why? Yeah.
Also, I should take some of those tips. I'm like, oh,
yeah, right. How do you do that? How old is he? Damn. And then watching the end. Speaking, you were talking about the end. It's a montage of a whole bunch of like making of behind the scenes from like all the Fox Marvel movies, all the X-Men, Elektra, Blade,
both Fantastic Fours.
Yeah, all the Fantastic Fours. Yeah, there's multiple versions of some. But everyone who had like multiple versions, they showed all of them. Like they showed all the Xaviers, all the Magnetos, like everyone else, all the Mystiques. And it was just a really cool. They had Green Day's "Time of Your Life" playing, so of course it was sad because you can't not have something sad when that song's on.
Right.
And Yeah, it was just like, oh, maybe those movies weren't that bad. I mean, we kind of enjoyed them when they came out. It's just we're comparing them to nowadays, that now they're all cheesy and goofy. But back then, like when the X-Men first came out, that movie was awesome. Like everyone's like, oh, Spider-Man started everything. Like, yeah, X-Men I think also got that ball rolling like very well.
Blade. It started with Blade.
Did it though?
Yes.
I guess technically. I don't know. Blade still doesn't feel like the same type of movie to me. I don't know. I guess nowadays it kind of does, now that there are a whole bunch of different ones, but like...
That is a joke that I loved. And I never even watched Blade 3, but that you never liked me.
Right?
That was amazing.
I don't like you. You never liked me. Liked him enough to come back for that paycheck in this one.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, there was a lot of... So, that takes me to you had 90 seconds you said you'd remove from the movie.
Yes.
I want to hear what those 90 seconds were, because...
I would remove Cavill, because it was completely wasted. You put anyone in Wolverine hair, and they just look like Wolverine.
But he looked like twice as big Wolverine. He looked like stacked Wolverine.
From the back, I'm like, is that a tiny Hulk? Like, what is going on? Holy crap.
But he did the thing.
Like, he turns around, and I'm like, I know who you're supposed to be. I just don't see it, because it's Wolverine hair.
I knew it because I knew it was coming, because it had been spoiled for me by the time I saw it. But, like, when you told me that you at first didn't even realize who it was until he said it, it was like, I could see that. Because when he turns around, yeah, there's a lot of cigar smoke in the face. And then when he talks, he almost sounds like him.
Yes.
You're just leaving. It's like the same damn voice.
Right.
Like, okay. But then he did the thing. He did the thing. And then somehow punched him through a brick wall. I'm like, why are all these Wolverines Superman strong? Did you notice that in that montage? Every one of those Wolverines like punched him through a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like, why is he so strong?
So Cavill just seems completely wasted. The short one was disturbing to me.
He was almost too short. Like, he looked like an angry Oompa Loompa.
It was weird. And then the one proposal line, I just...
With Nice Pool?
That was so weird. They couldn't have said, like, literally anything else. Like, how many takes did he do where he said something different every time, and that's the one that they went with?
I think he should have turned around and said, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. And then Deadpool could have turned around and been like, but why? And then it would have made sense, because it would have been a joke coming full circle from like 20 years ago.
Maybe.
But yeah, but I don't know. I thought that was... I laughed my ass off when he said that. Like, if I had been drinking, that would have been a spit take. I think I would have spit all over.
So, like, that's it.
Yeah.
That was the three things that just, like, leapt out and took me out of the moment, which was immersive, and I was, like, along for the ride, and then suddenly I just get taken out of it.
So the proposal one did that, but every time he would literally talk to Wolverine as Hugh Jackman, to the point where Wolverine almost responded as Hugh Jackman, almost. Like, almost.
That's Deadpool to me. But, like... The proposal just, it didn't reference anything else, and I'm just like if you had maybe done a proposal setup, like...
The Amityville Horror. Like what other
setup
Ryan
and payoff
Reynolds movies are there?
It just like a reference. I'm like, this is dumb. Like
he could have said that one where it was like buried in the coffin.
I'm talking about the entire rest of the movie's well constructed, and then you just throw out this thing without a setup.
But I think that was the point. He did it wrong. Like that was the point, right?
I don't know. Maybe do it more wrong. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is.
Sandra Bullock should have shown up. It's just been like, no, Ryan. Oh.
I would have accepted that.
That would have been freaking hilarious.
If she was Ladypool? Yes.
Oh my God. God. That would have made so much more sense.
Oh, would have been amazing.
Oh my God. I don't know why they made such a big deal about, oh, it's Blake Lively as Ladypool. She had one line and it was not her in the suit, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people were expecting the mask to come off.
Right? Like, no, she died immediately. Wolverine murdered her face.
It's fine. Like, it's fine.
But then she came back to life. That's right, because they did regenerate.
Yes.
Damn.
She looked great.
And then
though.
they all just disappeared. Like, where did they go? They just saw Pete, or what was that guy's name? Pete?
Peter.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah, they just found Peter Pool and then just went home. Like, what?
I don't know. Their role was done.
It's like Spider-Man's. We all have an Uncle Ben. Deadpool. We all have a Peter. Like, why?
It's weird.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Wolverine. Awesome. I almost wish they had been able to finagle getting a Cyclops and a Storm and whoever else, Jean.
The thing that I wish is, and I don't know where they would have fit or how, but I'm a huge fan of the Negasonic Teenage Warhead character, actress.
Well, she was a great character.
She's been phenomenal. I think she had the biggest role in the first one, but having the rest of the cameos be in bookend party scenes.
Yeah, I mean, my only hope there is the fact that they kept emphasizing when this was being made that this is not Deadpool 3. This is like a trip we're taking, a side trip, and then we will get back to them, like, which is probably why Deadpool ended the way it did. Like, I was the way they sort of set up, they're thinking like, oh, this is gonna change the Marvel universe forever, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna add something there, you know, reset, but it didn't do any of that. It had nothing to do with. It didn't even touch the Marvel universe.
I appreciate it shitting on the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it shit all over it, but it had nothing that it never came close to it. So it's like I don't even understand. That's another thing about Paradox. Like, why?
That was the weird thing to
Why
me.
did he pull Deadpool out at all? Why not just murder him with the rest of his universe? Why? It's like he set up his own failure on purpose.
Well, he used a time band to travel between universes. And maybe I forgot. Whatever. It was a time band in 2, and now he's like traveling to other universes, including where he met Happy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I thought it was a time machine. Wasn't it just a time machine? Cable's time machine?
It was for Cable.
Man, they shit all over him in that movie. He didn't test well.
He did, I thought.
I thought he did too.
He was great.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be his universe that Happy was in? Like, I don't understand.
I think Happy was the MCU that we know.
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be, but how did he...
But Deadpool's still in his own universe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that would have been in his... And that's the other thing that got me too, is like, he's like, oh, your anchor being died. Anchor beings, those are a thing now. Because every movie, let's make a new Goofy MacGuffin. There's an anchor being. And if your universe's anchor being dies, your universe dies too. And the anchor being in Deadpool's universe was Logan, who dies in 2029. Deadpool takes place in 2025.
They explained that.
Did they?
Yeah. He was working
That it was like
its way
retroactively?
backwards.
Okay. All right.
The timeline was withering on the vine or something. They gave it at least a sentence or two.
But even that doesn't make sense, because like the timeline in Logan, it's like a desolate, all mutants have been hunted down, like it's over, like everything's horrible.
Doesn't matter.
It's a mess. And in like Deadpool, they're like, yay, birthday party, everything's fine. What? Fox, Disney, bad.
Just pretend it's another universe.
See, I told you, if I thought about Deadpool, I'd find problems with it. But I'm not supposed to think
Logan
about
was
it.
another universe. And the anchor being from Deadpool is a different Logan.
It has to be a different universe, because they brought X-23 back at the end. So there'd be 2 of her, and there'd be 2 Logans.
I will take more X-23 in a heartbeat.
Right? I'm so happy she made it. I hope Gambit made it. I don't give a shit about Blade or Elektra.
I've heard there's a deleted scene where he did survive.
I hope to God he did. Gambit was awesome.
Gambit was hilarious.
He was far better than I ever could have imagined, and now I'm upset they never made a terrible Fox Gambit movie that we would have hated. So I'm glad that he made his appearance like this in a small dose where it's great and he didn't have a chance for it to get awful. But I'm just going to hope it would have been awesome.
Every time he opened his mouth, I'm just laughing my ass off.
Speaking of opening their mouth, Stick around for that after the credits scene. Stick around for it. It was surprising. It was great. Yeah, a lot of great cameos. A lot of surprise characters showed up.
I wonder how much they had to pay, because there were the comments about what he's doing to the budget.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And he was like, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. He was in it.
I love that they got that dig in at Ben Affleck.
Oh man.
Oh, Daredevil died. She's like, I'm over it. Whatever. It don't matter. It's fine. It's all good. Oh. Ooh.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. X-23. I'll take more of her. I'll take more Negasonic.
Let's take more Wolverine now that he figured out how to be Wolverine the best. Like,
yeah.
There's a comment in the movie about like the whole movie is like he's the worst Wolverine. It's like, and at the end they're like, "Oh, you really were the best."
Let's circle back to that.
Circle back to that,
because the whole time we're hearing about how he's the worst Wolverine, and we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was the Old Man Logan story, where he winds up killing all of the X-Men because of Mysterio.
Oh.
Like that's to me the worst Wolverine.
Yeah, right? The one where
and
he's
I'm like,
the reason.
This was not so bad.
Yeah, he just like, oh, something happened because I wasn't there at that time. Okay.
He thought he was better than them, and now he's sad.
Yeah.
So like, he's not the worst. There have been worse Wolverines.
Oh yeah. I think Deadpool visits most of them before he finds the one he takes. So.
Age of Apocalypse was a little weird. Because it was like super low budget. I mean, most of those were, but like it's just an alley with a car and a chain link fence, smoke machine.
His hand is a little bit gone-ish. Yeah, there are some of those where it's like, did you just film these in a garage? Like Zack Snyder driveway scene.
Thankfully, they were short.
Yeah.
Like just.
And they're very, little clips.
Just do it, move on, good, we're good.
I liked it. Now let's hope they do a Deadpool 3, an actual one, and we get to see like Colossus and Negasonic again, and anyone else from that universe, Wolverine, because he lives there now, and X-23. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, so there's some things that if you really think about them don't quite make sense about the timelines, but whatever. Who cares?
That's true of most of them.
Yeah. Like any X-Men movie doesn't make sense the second you think about it. So just don't. How old is Magneto? 130? Let's get over it. Like they're gonna have to change what war his parents were killed in. I mean,
yes.
Like
yes.
Unless they just all mutants just stop aging at like 80 and then but still have like the vitality of a 35-year-old and. Still be flying and throwing cars around, but
Viltrumite syndrome. You're just
35 forever, 35, 40 years old. You get a little bit gray on the side, and that's about it. You get the Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like 400 years old. He's got a gray hair. Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Oh man. Yeah, it's fine. Go see it, or by the time you see, whenever you see this, rent it.
See it
buy
again.
It. Yeah, see it again.
Whatever. It's good. I liked it.
Me too. Which is a lot more they can say for most Marvel movies recently.
Yeah.
And it's ironic that it's kind of a Fox-ish movie.
Still refuse to watch Madam Web.
Oh, just like I said, I saw one scene and I have diabetes now.
I saw the press. Like just watching
where they badmouth their own
press
movie?
Interviews. Goodness.
Or what's her name is just like, I can't believe I was in this.
That was enough.
Go see it. Like, oh.
That was enough.
I wish you could just watch like the one little clip I watched. I might send it to you if I can find it, because it's just so like, it makes Birds of Prey, the CW TV show, look so good by comparison. It literally is. It's like fan fiction cosplay Birds of Prey in a watchtower, complete with clear watchtower, and girl in wheelchair who has computers and talks to other girls who have costumes and go around and it's so bad. Have you seen Morbius? I haven't seen that.
No.
I will not be seeing that. Yeah.
No, not
no.
even as like bad movie fodder.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I think even if it was on TV, I would be like, next, I'm gonna watch golf.
No, I just don't want it in my brain.
Yeah. That'll be the one that sticks.
And I think for Morbius, learning that Matt Smith was in it and it wasn't a joke, I'm like, oh, what happened to his career? Is he pulling an Eccleston now with Thor 2? Like, yikes.
He's not the one that was in that Terminator movie, was he? Or was that the other guy?
I don't know.
It's like Terminator Genesis, where Genesis was spelled so stupid. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go see good movies like Deadpool Wolverine. See Hugh Jackman play probably the best Wolverine performance he's done.
Yeah.
See Ryan Reynolds be hilarious as Deadpool. And then a bunch of other Deadpools, including ones voiced by several prominent actors whose voices are unrecognizable. Like Headpool, that was Nathan Fillion. Why? It didn't sound like him at all.
The problem is, like, they are recognizable, except there's not enough dialogue to be like,
Yeah,
oh,
like one sentence.
I know that voice, I can't place it because you only said 5 words.
Yeah, and then it's
Like,
on to someone else. I'm like, well,
I guess I'll check the credits.
yeah.
What was your name? I don't know.
Yeah, Gambit, awesome. Man.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Recommended.
Oh, the only other thing that I kept thinking of, and then we'll get done with this.
Didn't we used to do Is It Good? The answer is yes, it's good.
Yes, it's good.
Half an
Maybe
hour
this will
into
be. Welcome back to another episode of Is It Good? Whatever. Yeah, I guess this is it good. I'll just throw that in the beginning. We forgot the name of our own show. Awesome. Oh, so anyways, yeah, so they spend a good amount of time in this movie slashing the holy hell out of each other.
Yep.
Especially Wolverine to Deadpool. Like, especially. And by the end of all these fights, Wolverine has one cut on his back that's about this long, with no blood, just a little cut. 4 bullet holes right here. 2 little stabbies right here and 1 here, because they were like prominently shown for a while, but otherwise nothing. His suit is unmarked, and also has a magical mask that was not there until he magically just, and then it was there. Whatever, we'll get over that digital mask. Why does Deadpool's costume have no holes in it? Does his costume heal like he does? He gets stabbed so many times and just slashed. And Wolverine's sleeves come off even. His suit has damage and Deadpool's just fine.
I don't know.
Like, he stabs him in the head so many times. There's nothing.
It's best not to think about it.
He's quite literally a living cartoon in that regard.
Just
I think it was just basically because they didn't want them both to be naked by the end of the movie, which they probably would have been. I mean,
maybe.
that would have been weird.
I mean, they didn't want to do the cancer makeup for more than a couple scenes.
Oof. Well, that stuff probably smells so bad. Just having to like be in. Oh my god. It's probably so hot. It probably takes so long if I just sit in a chair for like 8 hours every day. Just put all that shit on his head. Look like a giant cheese pizza. Was that scene in the movie? Maybe I just missed it. Where they're at the diner and he asks him to put his mask back on. He's like, it's hard to eat with my mask on. And Wolverine's like, yeah, it's harder to eat with it off because he has to look at him. Was that actually? It's in the preview. And now the thing about it, I don't remember seeing it in the movie yesterday.
I don't recall that.
Huh.
Maybe not. Maybe?
Oh, there's going to be probably a whole bunch of deleted scenes when this finally comes out. I can't wait. Just them going back and forth at each other and probably Hugh Jackman laughing a whole bunch. I will give him credit how often he stayed serious through just the hilarious things Ryan Reynolds would say. Or like, he had that little dog. Dogpool was so cute.
I was convinced Dogpool was CGI.
I think his tongue and some of his like facial expressions were exaggerated a little bit. Like they made his eyes pop a little bit and his tongue a little bit longer. But like, no, there's dogs that look like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, all of the like tongue in his mouth and like I'm like, Are you actually doing this? Because I kind of hope not.
Well, you never got kisses from a doggy?
No.
Oh, not a dog person over here.
No.
But you have like 18 cats, so I mean that's similar.
5.
That's a lot of cats.
It's more. Yes, it's more than I signed up for.
You don't mean that. If I could have 5 chihuahuas, that'd be so awesome.
We're trying to wrap up.
Yeah.
We've been trying to wrap up for like 5 minutes.
Yes. We're very bad at that still.
Well, that's been it for this episode retroactively of Is It Good?
Yes.
And the answer is yes.
Is it good? Not podcast. Is it good? And yes, it was good. Recommend it. Go see it in theaters if you can still find it. Otherwise, just go see it. It's one of the first Marvel movies I was excited about in a while.
Since, well,
I still haven't seen Guardians 3.
we're trying to end it, and I'm like, since
Right?
Guardians, but like, is that the last thing that was? I can't even keep
Or was
track.
it Spider-Man? No, it was Guardians, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I saw Thor. Oh, I wish I hadn't seen Thor.
Thor?
Can I trade?
Love and Thunder?
Yes.
Don't watch it.
Can
That's
I trade?
bad.
Can I trade Thor for Guardians? Can I just swap them out of my brain, please? Sorry, Christian Bale.
That's an end.
Go see Deadpool. Please.